My name is Fred Gehrisch. I'm the certified golf course superintendent at Highlands Falls Country Club in Highlands, North Carolina. I've been in the business for about 28 years, 29 years now, and 16 of them here. Of course, the club started in 1958 and began construction in earnest about 1960. Went through several owners throughout the years. In the early 80s, the owners at the time brought on Joe Lee to create the course we have today. In about 2000, we embarked on just a renovation to update the facilities and bunkers, tees, greens, and to bring us to what we currently have today. I actually started when I was 15 working at a local club in Ohio. My father got transferred to Atlanta and I started working at Cherokee Town and Country Club. It was there I found out I could actually make a living and actually do something in this business, and loved it there, loved what I learned there, and went to school for it. Probably my favorite part of my job is managing the crew and managing the people. I just have always enjoyed that aspect of it and all the different personalities, getting them work as a team and getting to work as a cohesive force, and buying into the changes that we want to make on the course. I tell you, one of the things I'd like to see a change in the golf industry and irrigation side will be more simplicity in the controllers and how you operate the controllers. A lot of clubs have gone to their phones and iPads and stuff for controllers. Unfortunately, in this area, it doesn't work. We don't have any cell phone reception, so it doesn't work. Radio's still king here, but even with that, even the controllers, they're more complicated than they need to be. 90% of the stuff in the controllers and on the computer are far more than any of us will ever use, but it seems like everybody adds something because the other guy added it, so we have to add it, and we just don't use 90% of what's available to us. It's shrunk. A lot of clubs are closing. The industry itself is shrinking, which all in all maybe isn't a bad thing. It's bad for some of my colleagues, but from a business standpoint, it's probably a good thing. Things got more expensive, equipment-wise. Computers have changed the way we do business, especially with the irrigation controllers. Used to be electromechanical, now everything's computer, which is great. It's much simpler to operate. Probably my most memorable challenge is not any single specific thing. However, it's been cumulative, drainage out here. The course is built on rock. It's shallow in a lot of places. We're sitting on solid granite. A lot of places are really hard to drain, this hole being one of them. However, we've performed with several different methods of drainage and found them to be very successful. This one here, we used turf drain. It went from being one of the wettest holes on the golf course to far out being the best hole on the golf course. We could have a 6-inch rain, and we did last week. You could go right out on that hole without any problem. I tell you, the products I like from Hunter the most really are the golf rotors, the G70, G90s, and even the PGPs. And the reason we like them, they're durable, they last, we have very little issues with them. They've been in the ground for 15 plus years with very little issues. I've had great support from both Hunter and our local distributor, Ewing. Both Mike and Dirk have been friends for a long time. Literally, it's a phone call away and I can have somebody here to give me a hand with anything in short order. My relationship with my Hunter rep has gone on for well over 16 years. I've known Kevin for better than 16 years. He's always been there to help. Not only Kevin, but the other people at Hunter, Jeff Fleming. Anytime I've ever needed any kind of assistance, they've always been there. They've been a phone call away, and it's been just a great relationship.
Oh.
We were very fortunate for our hunter service manager, Jeff Fleming. He and I were talking one day, and we have a water feature out on the course, and I told him we're having problems with it, and it just wasn't working. Wasn't a hunter product, wasn't a Ewing product. And he said, well, I'd be happy to come up and take a look at it if you don't mind. I said, sure. So Jeff came up, and literally we spent maybe an hour looking at it. He says, replace this part, I'll bet you that's the problem. Sure enough, we replaced the part. Our water feature's back up and running like it's supposed to. He didn't need to do it. It wasn't a hunter product. He just did it to help us out, and we were really grateful for it.